If you are watching this video right now, you are very early. Let me say that again. Listen up. You are still very early. It doesn't matter if you're brand new to crypto or if you've been in the market for years. The crypto market in general has revolved around cycles since its inception. Those cycles have revolved around the Bitcoin halving for the most part, and they consist of bull markets and bear markets. Now, right now we are approaching, or some would say we're even at the bottom of what we call the bear market, meaning that there is no better time ever to start planning for that bull market than right now, when you're buying tokens for 10, 100, 1,000 times less than what they'll be for going for in the bull market. I'm going to say something pretty controversial right now, especially to those of you who are more familiar with traditional finance. And that is that given the current economic climate, where we're going to over the next 12 months, as well as some of the innovation with AI, Web3, and crypto in general, I think that crypto investments should probably be prioritized over every other asset class. I know that sounds crazy. That includes stocks, that includes real estate. I hate to break it to you, but the majority of us don't have anywhere near the starting capital that we need in order to make the millions, to drive the Lambos, to live in the big mansions and go on a holiday as much as we want. Those gains simply haven't existed for the most part through traditional assets. Crypto is the only avenue to a lot of us that haven't just made that possible, that have done it with such consistency that it almost seems realistic when you pick the right project. Now, I have a prediction. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, but I have analyzed the markets a lot. And I'm big on a macro perspective when it comes to world economics, and when it comes to industries and categories as a whole. My prediction is this. We are right now in for at least another 12 months until we hit the bull market. 2024, in my opinion, will be the bull cycle. Now, why do I think that? Well, right now we're living in a very high interest and therefore high risk environment. For the next 12 months, the Fed probably are not going to pivot. The Federal Reserve are saying that they're going to pivot in 2024, albeit the market and the idealists are hoping that happens in 2023. I'm probably going to lean on the side of the Federal Reserve in that interest rates are going to be very, very high for the next year. And what does that mean? Well, it puts crypto in a very high risk environment, meaning that a lot of investors are going to move their assets to much lower risk assets. Now, when this happens over the next 12 months, obviously the media will jump onto those storylines. They will jump on that bandwagon and negative sentiment will be rampant. And so the naive or even the market manipulators are going to be putting out the message that crypto is bad, it's not a good investment. All the savvy and the people, savvy folks who have been around and gone through the ringer a few times are going to be collecting their tokens just so they can sell you on your head when the bull market comes around. But a lot of people out there, and unfortunately it seems to be the majority, or at least the people in the media who aren't quite as experienced or, again, manipulating the market, are going to be putting out negative messages telling you that you shouldn't buy. This is great. What does this mean? It means we have more time to purchase, more time to collect. I'm telling you right now that you shouldn't be paying attention to that media. You shouldn't be paying attention to that negative sentiment. When people start FUDing, all that means is that prices drop and it's a perfect time to dollar cost average in. Now, 2024, once we've gone through this year of accumulation and we've put up with all the nonsense that has come from the media and all the FUDers out there who, again, may not have your best intentions in mind, I think that the Federal Reserve will start that quantitative easing. And what does that mean? Well, it means that the dollar itself is going to lose value. Currencies around the world will probably follow suit, but all that perceived value will be driven into crypto, and that's where the magic starts to happen. My plan. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. You can listen to my opinion, and I can certainly tell you what I plan to be doing over the next 12 to 24 months, but ultimately, I don't know your financial situation. So take it with a pinch of salt. Also, if being rich and very wealthy isn't something that you're prioritizing, this is probably not something that you want to listen to either, because you want to go down a much more conservative route that's tried and proven to keep you at least in a safe place. Crypto and the strategy that I'm putting into play is meant to create life-changing wealth, and that's the vision that I have for myself. Number one word, accumulate. I said it before. You know the projects you want to be involved in. Many of us who believe a great deal in the Richard Heart ecosystem, HEX, Pulsechain, PulseX, those are the projects that we want to be prioritizing over the time. And I'll tell you this, will there be projects that I personally will want to get involved in as that market starts to near? Absolutely. Right now, the Richard Heart ecosystem is, in my opinion, the best opportunity, and some would say a once in a lifetime opportunity, should you plan correctly. So that's where a lot of my focus is going to be. Now, I want to emphasize that my blueprint is very simple. I'm purposely making it simple. I'm also purposely making this video as digestible and as direct as I possibly can for everyone watching it. My plan revolves around a 50-50 split. Now, obviously, in a bear market, accumulating tokens doesn't just happen. You need to have the money to put into the market to accumulate. Now, for those who haven't been in the market for years, who haven't already sold out of positions and have that dry powder waiting on the side, it means that a lot of us are going to have to get part-time jobs. We're going to have to earn some extra income that we could then put to use. I will tell you that that will be 100 million times worth it. If you can just suck it up for the next 12 months, make as much money as you can, put that into your positions, and just walk around knowing that you're building a future for yourself. Now, my accumulated funds every week, every month are going to go through a 50-50 split. That is 50% into HEX. I want to make sure that I'm positioned right now at a 90 to 95% discount. I'd be stupid not to. Plus, we get a copy when Pulse launches also. So we don't know how that's going to shake out, but I'm damn sure and confident, let's say, that HEX is potentially going to 10 or even 100x. You know, we're at a 95% discount right now. All it needs to do is reach its last all-time high, or even double that again, like we've seen so many times in the last bull market, before that mega wealth comes in. The other 50% is going to be, for the time being, going into dry powder that I can then use strategically when Pulse and PulseX launch. Now, as I say, there may be other projects that I want to be involved in as the time nears, but right now, I don't see anything with as much potential as this ecosystem. I want to finish by saying that I know a lot of you are impatient, and I'm sure a lot of you have been seeing a lot of FUD in the market right now, especially when it comes to the PulseX and the Pulsechain launch. A lot of people are complaining. Some of you are even mentioning that you're starting to doubt the project as a whole. You want to pull your funds out, you want to sell as soon as it launches. With all due respect, you're being stupid, because why on earth would you want a project to launch at a time that isn't perfect? Many would say that this is maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity for a lot of us. And so having that project launch at a time that isn't perfect, that doesn't put your capital and your investment to the best work possible, so you make as much of a return as you possibly can, then you've got to decide what you want. Are you in this to make money, or are you in this to complain and start, becoming outwardly frustrated and venting about something that ultimately is good for you? Why would you possibly want the project to launch before we have been absolutely clear that this is the bear market? We want to make sure that we are motivating new investors to come in and start pumping money in as we're approaching that bull market. In fact, I would go as far as to say that if the next 6 months doesn't amount to a Pulsechain or a PulseX launch, I'm going to be celebrating, because that gives me more time to dollar cost average into HEX at a much, much lower price than what I think it will be around that time. And it also allows me to collect more dry powder to invest in Pulse and PulseX when that comes to market. A lot of us didn't get involved in the sacrifice phase. Should that put you off? Absolutely not. Do you think that it's going to launch and go down? It's not. It's going to launch, and it may drop temporarily, but in the long run, there are too many positive things going on for this ecosystem, the community, and the projects in general to mean that you're going to see a loss. So I would strategically wait. I would save your dry powder, start collecting HEX where you can, and when Pulse and Pulsechain launches, unless anything remotely comes to the market that looks better, which I very much doubt it, you want to make sure that you are ready to go, that you're able to dollar cost average from the launch and then ongoing for the next year. Because this project, I think, will be around for the long run. We have too much of a community to let it go anywhere but up and to the right. I hope this helped. Please comment in the comment section below and let me know if there are any other projects that perhaps you've got on your mind you want me to take a look at if they're not already on my mind. But I will tell you this, right now, keeping things simple and investing very simply into this ecosystem for me makes the most sense. And I think that for many of us who only have a finite amount of funds, there's only so much you can put them to use. And I think that by highlighting projects like this right now and dollar cost averaging in where you can, saving where you can, you're positioning yourself perfectly for when the bull run comes along. And I'm going to reference this video to all of you who have listened to this, don't listen, fall for the FUD. And then as soon as that bull market kicks off and we're all millionaires, I'm going to be coming out with the I told you so's. That's going to make my channel grow because people are going to start trusting that, hey, you know what? Some of these folks who have been around for the last couple of cycles may have a little bit more experience and know what they're talking about. I've talked in previous videos about the amount of friends that I've had who have made huge amounts of wealth, not through their jobs or the businesses or the other investments they've had. They've retired through crypto with more money than they ever thought they'd have. I'm not missing out this time, and I hope you don't too. So stay tuned for the next video. But until then,